Hi everyone, welcome to our channel once again. As a continuation of our previous video on psychology and religion, we come your way with another episode on psychology, specifically pastoral psychology and personality. And with me once again, Brother Jonathan Albert Soboble. This particular video is sponsored by Miss Beat Special Sobolo and Tasty Chips. They are ready to serve at all your occasions. Their products are from natural extracts that will help boost your immune system. You can contact them on 020-0909-410 or 024-2938-788. Now to our discussion of the day. I will first ask our guests to tell us what pastoral psychology is and how it differs from other branches of psychology.
So, greetings to our viewers and greetings to you, my brother. So, we are talking about pastoral psychology. To understand pastoral psychology, we need to understand what pastoral is about. So, the word pastoral is from the word pastor. And we get it from the background of somebody who lead a sheep. That is a group. Then he takes them for feeding. He attends to them so that the sheep grow to maturity. So with that image of a shepherd, then we come to pastoral care. So pastoral care is basically somebody who is giving pastoral attention to a group of people by way of giving them direction, guidance, support, socially, psychologically, emotionally, so that that group of people under the person's care grow in maturity in all aspects of life. So on that background, we can say that pastoral psychology is simply application of psychological principles, psychological methods, psychological approaches in the process of giving pastoral care. You understand?
Okay.
So that is basically pastoral psychology in a simpler form. So pastoral psychology is different from other branches or other aspects of psychology based on its purpose or goal.
Okay.
Every aspect of psychology is different based on the purpose or the aim or the goal of that branch of psychology. So for instance, you can take educational psychology. That is application of psychological principles, methods or approaches in the process of education so that you can have effective education. So in that case, you can say that pastoral psychology is an application of psychology in pastoral care so that there will be effective and efficient pastoral care.
Okay. To add to what you said about who a pastor is, I think it's also the role of the pastor in pastoral care to also protect those that he or she is leading.
Exactly.
Now, to our second question, what is personality and what role does it play in pastoral psychology?
All right. Basically, when you talk about personality, you mention somebody's name. What comes to mind? What is the picture of the person you have in mind? What is the character traits you can identify the person with? I want to explain it in a more simpler form.
Sure.
So personality is basically the uniqueness of the person, the unique character or behavioral traits of the person. So that at the mention of the person's name, you have it in mind that, oh, we are talking about Elikem, a caring person, a kind person. That is basically personality. Okay.
So is there that kind of mental image that you have of a person when you hear
that which makes the person unique and different from others.
Great.
And this personality comes about as a result of the natural capacity of the person or the natural makeup of the person together with his or her environment, the environment in which the person grows, the society in which the person grows, and his body or physical or biological nature, they interact. In psychology, we call it nature and nurture. They come together to form who the person becomes, so that he becomes unique and different from others. Now, the role personality plays in pastoral psychology is that the one who is giving pastoral care to people, the one we call pastor, okay, is supposed to understand the individuals or the human beings he's dealing with, those he's giving pastoral care. You understand?
Yes.
He must understand them, know their uniqueness, to understand their unique problems in their context, so that whatever he is giving to them as a form of guidance or counseling or direction, or the way he goes about his pastoral care will be effective. Because if you don't understand the individuals you are dealing with, you are going to give them pastoral care that does not fit their circumstances, and it's not going to be effective.
Sure.
So that's the role personality plays in pastoral psychology. The pastor must understand the individuals. He must understand the human beings in their uniqueness and understand their problems in their perspective or context, in order to be able to give them effective and efficient pastoral care.
Okay, so when we talk about individuals, one issue that we can look at is their mental health. And I want to ask you, how can pastoral psychology help or relate to mental health issues?
Okay, now, as a person who is giving pastoral care to people, you are to use certain skills to understand the people you are giving pastoral care. You understand?
Yes.
Now, these skills is going to be provided by psychology. For example, unconditional response. That is, those who come to you, no matter who they are, you give them the attention and a listening ear. You also have the skill of listening, so that you can pay attention to them to understand their circumstances and their problems. So in the process of that, you will be able to come up with the idea that, oh, this particular person I'm dealing with has a mental health issue. Now, mental health issues come in different degrees. We have the mild ones, we have the moderate ones, and we have the severe ones. If you are not professionally trained as a psychologist, as a clinical psychologist, or as a psychiatrist, what you have to do is you identify the problem, if it is a mild one, by your caring that you are giving, by your continuous unconditional response you give, the person can be able to handle it.
Sure.
But if it is the severe or the moderate ones, it is advisable that if you don't have the professional skill to deal with it, yours is to identify the problem, then you refer the person to a professional. So that is the way pastoral psychology can help somebody deal with mental health issue. Identify the problem, then refer. But if it is a mild one, you can
give the care that is
exactly
needed to deal with the mental issue.
As a pastor, the attention you give to the person, you visit the person, you show him love, you show him concern, you show him that you are there for him. By so doing, the person can come out of that problem.
Okay, so following the discussion so far, we realize that pastoral psychology is not limited to formal institutions or, let's say, the church. And so I want to ask, how can pastoral psychology be integrated with traditional therapy approaches?
All right, that's a very good question. You see, the temptation is to limit the word pastor to only the Christian figure who is in charge of a church or something. Now, whoever is giving that social support, spiritual support, or psychological support to people is by so doing performing the work of pastoral care.
Okay.
So the imam, the herbalist, or the traditional priestess or priest in his corner in the traditional religion, people come to them for support. when they have problems in their marriages, when they have problems in their workplaces, they go to them because they believe that they can get some direction from there. So pastoral psychology in itself is seen in all these factors: traditional, Christian religion or Islamic religion. Whoever is in charge of a group of people and he's giving that pastoral care to, the person is doing pastoral psychology, because it is a human encounter. And so far as it is a human encounter, there's an aspect of psychology in every human encounter, because the imam would have to listen to the person who has come to him to understand his personality and understand his context and his problem to be able to direct him. So he's using pastoral psychology. The herbalist or the traditional priestess, when you go to them, they will listen to you, they will ask you questions, and by so doing they will understand your problem to be able to help you. They are using psychology. And because they are giving a care to the person, they are using pastoral psychology. I hope you understood.
Yeah, I understand.
So pastoral psychology is not limited to only Christianity. The traditional approaches and the other religious approaches apart from Christianity, they are using pastoral psychology. But then somebody who is that figure who has been formally trained with psychological courses, okay, like social psychology, environmental psychology, personality psychology, and all those, the person will be able to apply pastoral psychology more effective than somebody who has never been in the formal training to be a pastor or a pastoral care agent.
So how can pastoral psychology help address the issues concerning diverse communities?
Okay, now if you are in charge of a group of people in a particular community, let's say you are an imam, you are a Catholic priest, you are a pastor in a church or whatever, for you to be able to understand the unique problems a group of people have, you have to interact with them. Okay, you have to observe them. Sometimes when you want to go more professional, you have to use interviews. You have to use questionnaires to understand their problems, so that when you are giving your pastoral care, it will be effective and efficient. Because when you go to the hospital, for instance, and you are diagnosed of malaria, they will give you the specific medication for malaria. But if the diagnosis go wrong, okay, if it goes wrong, if it happens that you are suffering from malaria and you are diagnosed of tuberculosis, you are going to be given the wrong medication. So for you to understand the peculiar or particular or the contextual problem of a particular group of people, you have to interact with them, observe them, and you are using some scientific approaches like observation, active or passive, for you to understand the people. So this is how come somebody who is a pastoral agent by pastoral psychology can understand peculiar problems of a group of people he's in charge of.
Okay, that is great. And to our final question, what are some requirements for effective pastoral care in relation to pastoral psychology? That is, what are some of the related courses and disciplines to pastoral psychology?
Okay, to be able to effectively apply pastoral psychology in pastoral care, all you have to do is to understand the personality. So you need a course in personality. You have human growth and development, a course in that will help you. And since it is about religion, you understand, whether Christian, Muslim or Islam or the traditional, you have to have the basic knowledge of your faith as a pastoral agent, so that you apply the faith you have to the skill psychology will give you to be able to lead the people, to care for them, to help them and guide them. You understand? So the faith will give you the theological aspects or the pastoral aspects. Psychology will help you to understand the human beings or the individuals or the people you are dealing with. then you'll be able to combine the two. But you also need courses, like I said, in personality development, human growth and development, environmental psychology. You also need courses in education. You also need courses in sociology, social psychology and stuff. All these will give you the skill to be able to understand people in their context, so that with the background of your faith, you'll be able to understand the people and help them as a pastoral agent.
One word you kept mentioning is to understand the people, to understand. And I believe to be able to give effective and efficient pastoral care, you need to understand the people that you are dealing with.
Exactly.
And I would like to ask you, what are your final words to our viewers?
Yes, this course or discussion we are having is very important, because we live in a community now where people call themselves pastors, especially on radio, on television, and what they say to people to do by way of they guiding them. They are more or less exposing the people who depend on them as pastoral agents to more psychological problems. Can you imagine somebody who is pregnant and the pastor is saying that, come, let me, strip naked, I'll wash you, I'll clean you up and stuff. You are exposing the person to more psychological problems. So my advice for our viewers is that be careful. Be careful with the people you go to for pastoral care or support. Some people are using some methods they call in our local language as akwanchere, and they are giving people a lot of mental health problems. So be careful with the people you go to. For me, my advice to our fellow Catholic viewers is that have faith in your church. Focus on the fact that you have people who are well trained to help you, because we Catholics, we are lucky. We have our priests learning psychology, educational psychology, pastoral psychology, and all that, sociology. So these are equipping them with the skill to understand you, to be able to help you. But to our general viewers, please be careful with the people you go to for pastoral care, because not all of them are genuine. Some will not care to understand your particular problem in your context, because they want to sell themselves out as the people you have to depend on. They will give you some pastoral care guidance that will expose you to more psychological problems. So let's be careful.
So let's be careful of the people we go to for pastoral care. Those are some of the final words of our guest today. And we would like to bring this video to an end. Kindly subscribe and share the link with others. Comment and like this video, and follow us for more on pastoral psychology. Thank you very much.